understanding what I was trying to accomplish with football, I understood that I wasn't as good as I wanted to be, but I could be better. I mean, you always hear that cliche, get better every day. I want to get better, but you have to believe it. You have to want to really get better. That's why I keep talking about those roadblocks. It may not happen at the moment that you want it to, but you got to understand the process. Everybody wants it yesterday. If that was the case, then there'd be a lot of great athletes that have played in the National Football League. But there's only there's so few that make it, and there's so few that become great. I never really thought of myself as being a great receiver. I'm like top 3 in the National Football League. Back in '92, coming out of high school, it wasn't even a thought.
And you attribute that to the process? Working, building?
It's just, taking advantage of the opportunity. You got to recognize those opportunities when they're in front of you. I just been really fortunate really to have, it's one thing that, really kind of believe in yourself, but really to genuinely have people that believe in you too, that can take somebody through the roof. Every athlete, I'm sure at some point in their life, they're gonna have those doubts, but you can't let those doubts overcome or overwhelm the bigger picture. And that's with anybody. You just gotta realize what your weaknesses are. If somebody criticizes you, take it as a constructive criticism. And that's what I had to do too.
That's awesome. I love what you talk about, the process. Like, everybody wants it yesterday, but it's the process. The process is what turns Terrell into T.O. It's the process that lets you go from basketball to football superstar. It's the process that lets you go from underdeveloped rookie to one of the greatest wide receivers of all time in the NFL. It's the process, man. That's so awesome. I love that.
And then you just got to have fun with the process too. You got to understand that it's not going to be easy. People think that there's no challenges. Again, people want it yesterday. And that's the beauty of becoming successful, is looking back on it, knowing what you've gone through and appreciating the success and the process. Otherwise, it's literally like you going to a job. And I literally tried to have fun with it. And that's when I started to become very, very creative. And I was very, very confident. And when I say that the media inaccurately portrays me as being arrogant or egotistical, it's because they didn't understand me. And so for me, it wasn't for me to go out my way to try to make people understand who I am. It's up to you or the individual to process the other person. So for me, I understand that, sometimes people have a committed understanding of who you are, and they don't want to go away from that. And so the saying perception is reality. In my case, perception is not reality, because what people saw and how they view me or see me now from what they've heard is not who I am off the football field and as a person.
That makes a lot of sense, man. So what's the impact that you want to have on the world?
Me now is really taking what I've been able to build for myself, establishing a brand, an identity for myself, enabling, kids that look up to me to understand what it takes to get to that next level. Again, it's so crazy that we're in a world where everything is at your fingertips in terms of technology. So there really shouldn't be any excuse as to why you fail, because everything is accessible. I'm an ordinary guy that have done definitely some extraordinary things. So I know that literally honestly, if I can make it, anybody else can make it if they apply themselves. And sometimes it's not gonna be easy. As a little kid, as a teenager, I had a lot of self-esteem issues. I was bullied, picked on. I got beat up. Didn't have any girlfriends. No girls liked me. Like, These are things that, you know, people on the outside world really probably don't understand, that I went through real life things. My desire was just like anybody else's, but what set me apart was I dedicated myself, and there was a discipline to me to do the things that guys don't do. They just don't sacrifice. And that's what I did throughout the course of my career.